Alright guys, what's going on? This is Taryn with our part 2 of our rotations build video. We're talking about Aoe today. We're going to talk about, we've got two talent setups that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about our ride talent setup. This is a talent setup you're going to be using on things where you're going to have 2 or 3 targets up constantly. And you're also going to be using this on a lot of the high-end Mythic Pluses when you're not on Tyrannical, because bosses have infinity hit points on Tyrannical, and Ride is no fun on that. So this is good on your non-Tyrannical, like plus 12s and higher, or if you're under gearing your plus 10, 8, and 10, stuff like that. Things to keep in mind, like if you're going in with like an 860 group into a plus 8, this is the talent setup for you. We're also going to talk about our general go-to Mythic Plus talent build, which is going to be this guy right here. Yeah, this guy right here. This is kind of what you're going to want to do with that. This is your, the reason why this is your go-to is you are able to deal, you have a good balance of single target and AoE. Really strong AoE, still okay, still good single target, better, almost better than what you would have with Riot. So, alright, so let's get into it. We're going to talk about this build right here. I like, this is your old 710 playstyle. So the way you run this, you're gonna take your target on your opener, you're gonna precast your seed, so in your pattern, UA, dot. What that seed is gonna do, it's gonna explode. Now everyone has corruption, dots all around, and we're gonna just start stacking up shards. We're stacking up shards, we're waiting on shards, waiting. We're gonna pop some cooldowns. We're gonna dump UA. Maybe this guy needs some damage, and then we're gonna start that. So our whole goal while we're doing this is we're gonna try. We want to creep under when we're doing our UA recasts, and we want to maintain our dots, and we don't want a shard cap. And this is your AoE playstyle. This is this hectic. We got a bunch of fucking dots going on, and we're doing a lot of damage, right? I mean, we can see it. We're doing we're sustaining 650 without pots or anything. It's pretty good, right? So then we can do this. We got a reap going. We're gonna UA. We're just kind of throwing UA around. We're not contagion spec'd, so it doesn't matter. Now we're gonna have a bunch of dots expiring here in a minute. We want to get the agonies first. Then we're gonna get the siphon lives. Okay, cool. So that playstyle, incredibly easy. There is another thing that can happen is you'll have to throw in your effigy onto that. We'll go into that in a little bit. Talking about your AoE build. Let me just get rid of these corruptions so we can get this going. The AoE build is a little different. Kind of the same. So we're still going to do the same thing where we let our seeds. We used seed to, we used UA to set off the seed. The reason why we do that is it's really quick. It's a really quick damage source to get that seed going. So, really important. Now with this build, you're taking Sow the Seeds. Sow the Seeds now only hits 3 targets instead of 5. On 5 targets, it is 40% less spell damage per target. It's about a 5% nerf in damage, but it deals drastically more damage on 4 targets and 3 targets. It is more effective if you're in this build. It is more effective to seed on 3 targets than it is to UA. Okay, so everyone, just so you can understand, on 3 targets, if you have Sow the Seeds, it is more effective to seed than it is to UA on a target. Unless there's extraneous things like you've got bolstering and one target has like 50% HP and the other have 20. Obviously you don't want to seed there, but for just raw damage per second, 3 and more targets, you cast seed and not UA. Cool. So what's going to go on here? So we got a Mythic pull our Mythic Plus pull is going to happen. We're going to get our Infernal out here, right? Using your Infernal for AoE, your Doom Guard for single target. So we're going to have this going on. We're going to seed UA, agony, 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 agony. Okay, now we've got corruption on everything, and UA is taking everything. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna basically rotate our agony and seed, right? We're gonna agony U. We're gonna seed, agony U, seed, agony, seed, agony, seed. We're gonna kind of stay shard neutral by doing this. Okay, you can kind of see that we're staying at about 3 shards. Pretty easy. The single target is almost exactly the same as before. You just, you know, you're not managing siphon life at that point. So really cut and dry, really easy. Good stuff. As far as when to reap, when to not reap, both of these are generally used in Mythic Plus, both of these are used in a situation where you have ads. So number one, you don't want to ever cap on your reap, on your souls, unless you're like about to go into a boss. Then yeah, you want to let your souls stack up so you can hit the boss with a full 60-second or higher duration reap. If you go in with reap up and then you have 12 souls on the side, that's like the best. That's like, that is the good shit right there. If other times, if you're running the Writhe build, so we'll talk about this for a minute. So if you're running Writhe, we're gonna get all of our dots going right here. Okay, dots, dots, dots. This is another way to open, not recommended though, because you can see it took like a while. We missed like 2 ticks of corruption there. So we're gonna be like, okay, oh fuck, this mob right here needs to die. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dump a bunch of that in. Now the other thing with this build, with Writhe, that I want to kind of clarify, is with Writhe, shard capping is worse than letting Siphon Life drop. Okay? Siphon Life deals less damage per cast for the whole duration of the cast. Siphon Life deals less damage than Unstable Affliction. Unstable Affliction just flat out does more DPS in the duration that it in the 8 seconds that UA has versus Siphon Life. UA does more. Now, you are capped on shards, which means you don't want to overcap. It's like you don't want you to overcap on energy or range, right? You're constantly generating those. You're going to be constantly generating shards, but it is a finite number. So you want to make sure you get all the UAs that you can, so you don't want to cap shards. Good. So when you're doing this, you will have times where you don't cast Siphon Life because you're about to cap shards, stuff like that. Dump your UA, get down to like 2 shards, and then go back and start redotting everything, right? The only time it is, you shouldn't get into this situation, but the only time that you should be shard capping yourself is if you've got an agony, like a 20 stack of agony that's going to drop. That's bad. So, multi-dot is a lot easier than, frankly, it's a lot more straightforward than a lot of the other stuff. It is maintain your dots. The best thing I can recommend is get yourself a good add-on. Tidy plates is a good one. Some sort of nameplate add-on that will keep your nameplates on your screen with your dots. That's really the biggest thing. Another thing is on LVUI you have a boss mod unit frame. I have mine that kind of appears up here that allows me to monitor dots on the bosses. That's really, really good, really important. So other than that, there's not really a lot that goes into multi-dot. Just kind of making this video so you're aware. This is another playstyle that exists. It's the old playstyle. It has its place, its uses. It's got some really good cheese coming in Mythic with the Mythic Botanist. So keep that all in mind. It's really strong still. It's not by no means weak. So, anyways, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I will be posting links to between these videos for this basics guide, and I will also be posting links to my UI and all that good stuff. So let me know if there's any questions, and I will talk to you later.